Hello and welcome, Fish here with another DCS video. This video I'm going to showcase the night lighting as it currently stands on the Persian Gulf map, and I believe this has been updated in recent times. I'm not sure exactly when, but suffice it to say that it's undergone a major upgrade, and it's by far the most wonderful map at night time of all the maps that I've been used so far, and I've got everything except the new map that's come out in beta now. So with that in mind, we're going to do a run between here, which is Abu Dhabi, and we're going to head north to Dubai. We're going to fly in downtown Dubai and then land in Sharjah International. And you can see we're heading off. We're in an F-16 here, which it's by no means finished, as you probably know, and but we're not going to use much of the functionality. We're just going to use it. And the reason I'm using this aircraft rather than the F-18 is because it's a really fast aircraft, very nimble, particularly when it's not carrying too much ordnance. So you really get a sense of driving a fast car on this map. So with that in mind, let's do a startup and let's get going. This is the first part of a two-part video, well, two separate videos. The second one I'm going to do is going to be the same thing, and I'm going to do it in normal flat screen 3440 by 1440. This is in VR, and it's in the reverb, so the resolution is 2048 by 2048, or actually I think it's 2160 by 2160. Yeah. So unfortunately, the screen that you'll see is going to be limited to that resolution, and it's a square. However, it will give you some idea of how it's going to work in VR. So with that in mind, let's start livening our jet. And a lot of the switches in this aircraft, the way it's configured, are already switched on, so we don't have to worry too much about. I'm not going to go through the navigation, the alignment, because that's going to just take too long. We'll find our way between here and Dubai. We'll navigate by the moon. So as soon as we've got our engine spooled up there, 20%, it's settling out, and then we're going to move our idly tent and cycle a throttle. And once we have our FTIT on the way down, we can switch off our flashlight and look at our cockpit lights coming on. Okay, there we go. And I have to say, the night lighting in this cockpit are absolutely fantastic for anybody who likes the F-16, and I'm a big fan for many years. So let's get things running. Power on all the avionics and now our sensor switches. Everything else is okay over there for the moment. On the left hand side, our IFF to known. We can see our fuel feed is to known. We wouldn't be able to start our engines if that wasn't the case. And our lighting, we'll leave the anti-collision lights off. Position lights will be in steady. Our fuselage and our tail to on, and our master switch to full. All our radio stuff is on except the main switch, which I need to just switch 2 steps into full on. I actually need to close our canopy. And latch it. And now our TWA power on. And all the separate switches for chaff and flares and the program. Parking brakes. Taxi light we leave to them for a moment. Ground jettison to on, and I'm just going to tidy up this screen. Not very clear from me. It's way over bright. So actually I don't need this. So I'm going to reduce the brightness of both left and right MFCDs. You can't seem to hold your finger on it. You have to just successively punch on the switch. Okay, that's better. So that's pretty much everything. I think the lineman says it's ready, although I don't believe that's the case. So I'm going to push it into nav mode. And so we're ready to roll. Now we can finish our lighting, switch on our anti-collision lights, position lights to flash, and our taxi lights to on. I do think the taxi lights are probably a little bit bright. I need to switch our park and brake to off, and nose wheel steering on, and away we go. Okay, so it's runway 31 here, and I've left us. I've given us an apron slot very close to the runway threshold here, so we don't have much to go. Don't waste much time here. We can get some sense of the lighting. Even at the moment we can see all those blue lights, which are the airport lights, but if you look back to the left there, you can see some sense of the city lights, and we get more of that when we get in the air. Now, turning on to taxiway. I'm not sure. I think this is taxiway B. Stick with the yellow line. And we don't have to worry about ATC. I don't think it's working fully with this aircraft yet. So we can see we're 31 right there. So we have a quiet night here at Abu Dhabi, and we don't have to worry about traffic. So straight onto the threshold. And just hold it up while I do my pre-takeoff checks. Oxygen is good. Radar altimeter to on. Yeah, turn back here and get the pitot heat to on. IFF to normal. And armor ejection seat. And we're pretty much good to go now. So, toe brakes on. And spool up. And toe brakes off. So I'm just doing Buster here. I'm not pushing into afterburner yet. Actually don't need it. I find it's a much more controlled takeoff, because with afterburner you punch through 300 knots really quickly. So rotating. My feet off the pedals, and we'll put our gear up. Nice lighting for our gear stick there, just lights up the cockpit in red. Wonderful. Now we can get some sense of the lighting in the city. It just stretches out in the distance. It's absolutely fantastic. Really good. I almost think it's nicer than in the daytime. It's more immersion. It's actually like being in an aircraft coming into land if you're looking at the window and you can see the city lights. I'm going to turn in here to the right, and we're going to try and find the Formula 1 track in Abu Dhabi. We'll try and see a couple of sites along the way, and it's nicely modelled here. And we can see, looking behind us, you can see a little bit of moon on our wingtip, but we'll have a look at that in a second when we get more. Now, finding this is the challenge. I think maybe I need to be coming back a little bit more this direction. So this is kind of low-lying houses, so but you can see as we look down towards the ground, the area on the ground that's lit up by the lighting associated or close to the houses. Oh, I think that's the track over there. Yep, that's it over there. And it was down this way. And we just do a flight past there. There's a big shopping centre which is depicted as a Ferrari building. I'm a big fan of Ferraris, so I always like heading over this way. We might get a quick look of the way the track weaves its way in through the hotel, which is the purple building in the centre.
Altitude. Altitude.
Okay, you can see it there. Yeah, you can see the track just, if I point to it with my mouse, the track just weaves in to the building there. And very nicely modelled. And you can see as you get closer to it, there's a little bit more detail coming into some of the windows and stuff. And there's my nice Ferrari building. I don't believe that's a Ferrari building in real life. Yeah, maybe they got a bit of product placement from Eagle Dynamics. Maybe Eagle Dynamics got a bit of product placement from Ferrari. Okay, I'm going to have to start heading. I have to start, yeah, heading north now. And this part of the trip is probably going to be a little bit quiet. You can see the huge amount of lighting that's coming from, and the lighting flare that's coming from the tail, and it's absolutely it's amazing in VR. It's just volumetric. You actually think it's a light out there. And on the left hand side, we can see the reflection of the moon on our wingtip, on our wings there. And if we look at the ground, we can see reflected light on the water, which reminds me, I need to adjust my allow. Because we're going to be doing some low level flying, and I don't want the warning to be shouting at me all the time. Okay, you can see the lighting is very nice in the pit, so I'm actually going to dumb it down a little bit because we want to concentrate a bit more on the external lighting, and got more visibility if we do that. So let's dumb it all down. Okay, that's nice and soft now. I'm going to start descending, and we can see actually in the distance there, just so we look at outside the canopy, or not outside the canopy, just outside my hood there, you can see at the 1 o'clock position the Burj Khalifa, which is the focal point of Dubai. So we're heading in the right direction anyhow. I doubt you'll see it on the small screen. You may see it when we do the ultra wide version, but I can see stars and star constellations very clearly, and there's actually a big star out there on my 2 o'clock. It looks like maybe it's depicting one of the planets quite low in the sky and quite a lot larger than all the other ones. And I can see a constellation there in front of me that I recognize as the Seven Sisters. So everything feels as it should be, and because you don't see the detail of the buildings, you only see the lighting, which is what you see at night. There's actually not much of a difference between how this would look if you were looking out the window of an aircraft and looking at it from here. In the daytime, you know, the buildings, they tend to look a little bit, yeah, CGI, more CGI. This looks absolutely fantastic. I've got a little bit of brightness on the water, not much. We've got a brightness on the port side, but very little on the starboard side. Let's have a look outside and see how bright that tail light is. Yeah, it's providing a good bit of light there. Bit of reflection from the canopy that you probably can't see. There's a lot of detail you're probably not going to see in the video that I'll see in VR.
Altitude. Altitude.
We're down to 90, so okay, we're going to head over towards the cranes.
Altitude. Altitude.
And you can see these are all very nicely lit,
Altitude.
and a lot of
Altitude.
detail, and smooth as butter here. And now we're heading in towards the salination plant there. Part of it on the right there, and part of it on the left. Here's the industrial zone to the south of Dubai. A lot of detail, and now we're going into southern part of the city. And the main thoroughfare there. I don't have dynamic traffic on because I'm trying to maintain the frame rates. I will have it on when I do the normal screen version. You can see as we get closer to the buildings, there's more detail in the lighting on the windows, and they look absolutely fantastic close up. You really do get a sense of there's one of those railway stations. You really do get a sense that you're downtown.
Altitude.
Even the detail on the ground for those small buildings is really good. And there's one of the most famous landmarks, hotel, which I doubt I'll ever be able to afford. So we can see the Burj Khalifa there, and let's get on this main thoroughfare. You can see all the railway stations along the way there, also lit up. And let's get our speed down a little bit, so we just take a little bit of time to go through here. Okay, we'll head in towards the Burj. And now we push it up, and we do a bit of a climb up into the city. If we have a look around from up here, it's absolutely stunning how this lighting just continues off into the distance, into the darkness there. You really get a sense that it's a huge city, which it is anyway. And there's the Palm Island down below there on the right, and that hotel we just passed on the way in. Let's turn back around now and come back into the city. Looking down at the detail there. It's hard to explain what this is like in VR, because you really have to be in the helmet to try it, to understand it. So we can see the white lights of our destination out there, Sharjah International.
Pull up. Pull up.
And we'll head through the gate and then on to our landing. We're at 1,000 now, 900. And there we have the main terminal building there to our 3 o'clock. And I'm going to take I normally take the right runway, 30 right, but I'm going to take 30 left this evening, because in the night time I find difficulty in knowing where the access taxiways are. I tend to overrun them, so it's easier to find it on that side, so I'm not crossing any other runway. decent amount of speed there. Just bump up my hood a little bit. Not a huge amount of granularity on the hood brightness, unfortunately, but I'm guessing there should be a night mode. Probably will come with a later update. However, it's good enough for me to see now. So let's give ourselves a bit of distance. And we'll come down, I think it's 306 or 303. And our 30 something will do us fine. Okay, 302, that's fine. Okay, we need to turn back in now.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
Okay, a little bit an overshoot there, and now let's get our gear down. And air brakes on. Switch over to landing lights rather than taxi lights. Good illumination there. I think about this runway, we've plenty of space to do a landing. Okay, flare
Altitude.
and
Altitude.
wheel
Altitude.
down, front wheel down. And there we go. So we have that nice moon out to our left hand side there. I have to say, very nice. The whole sense of immersion is very good with this lighting. So I think we can get off here. Looking at those blue lights there, they look very attractive, so I'm going to head for them. And we have a yellow line there, so that's something we can at least follow. Though by the looks of those placards there, I think we're probably taking the wrong one. So I hope you enjoyed this. Very hard to depict on a 2D screen what VR is like in 3D, but it's kind of moments like this that really VR shines when you have good lighting like this. It really improves the immersion. And as usual, feel free to comment and give it a like or a dislike. And until the next time, this is Fish signing out. Thanks for watching.